What's going on, HPP fam? Welcome back to another episode. Sorry for the delay in videos, guys. I was sick for like a week, and you know, it's tough. I had the sorry. Either way, we are back at it with another week. Last week's episode, or the last one you guys seen, that F-150 made some steam. Jiggle Woods made some steam on them baby tires. What? Woo! That car's a monster. Anyway, we've got Sully's car here. If you remember, this is the one with a Whipple that is a built. Was a 5.7 now? I think it's a built. Just a built 5.7. I'm not really sure. I don't really remember. If you watch this video, correct me in the comment section. But it had a fuel leak. We fixed that. And fixed something else. I don't really remember what it was. And then this thing also has a wheel speed sensor that's out. So I gotta get with him and see if he wants to get that replaced while it's here. But other than that, I think there's a code in the PCM I need to take a look at. But other than that, this thing's fixed already and ready to go home. This 2014 came in last week. I think you guys seen this one come in. And we fixed the oil temperature sensor, and we fixed a oxygen sensor, and it is now here to be tuned. We put a converter in this thing. That would be the last time you guys seen this car here, and then it went somewhere else and had the cam installed and tuned. And I wish I would have got a before video for you, but now it sounds like it has a cam. It did not before. I am going to reach out to find out who he did have tuned this. Just as maybe make a courtesy call to that guy to not do that to people's cars. If you can't tune them, don't tune them. Just recommend it to a good tuner for that particular brand of car. Just like I don't tune every car that comes through the door here, but I make sure that they are tuned by some of the best in that industry. Just because at the end of the day, right, we want to do a good job and we want to give our customers good, fast, reliable cars. But now it is tuned, now it runs and drives. Let's get some power numbers on that and get this day started. It is a busy Monday. Mofos be dropping their cars off this morning. So as you can see, we've got a big F350 about to get dropped off. The red Charger right there is a 426 car. It has a Whipple on it. So it's here for tuning, so we'll see what transpires with that one. Should be getting it on the dyno maybe this afternoon after this car. Another shop built it. Not really sure what's going on with that one. And after talking with the owner when he dropped it off, it looks like we may need some parts. But we'll see. We'll look it over. Yeah, let's get this week started, see where we end up. So as you can see, Gio has gotten started with these shorty headers on this, I think it's a 19 Ram 5.7. But he's getting crack-a-lacking on that. And then we got this one strapped down and warmed up. And go ahead and make a tug on it. Alright guys, so we've got this 2014 5.7 all wrapped up, and it finished out at 372 horsepower, 411 foot-pounds of torque. Good looking graph, clean air fuel. Get this one on back to the customer. Well guys, as you can hear behind me, I got the 2016 Challenger with the 426 with the Whipple. I got a base calibration in it, and I got it up and running. It sounds okay. A little smoky out of the exhaust. It sounds okay. However, upon closer inspection, this thing is leaking out of the front end pretty good. And then if you look, that belt is riding one groove off. which leads me to beg the question, did they pin the crank when they built this engine, and did they run a VVT spacer when they built this 426? So unfortunately, I'm not going to strap this thing down because I'm not going to run the risk of damaging this thing any more than it potentially already is. I'm going to shut this thing down. I may pop it off the dyno because I don't need it blocking the dyno, but we'll see. And call the customer and see what they want to do. But this thing definitely needs to come apart before we go any further. So guys, as you can see, we got some new things in the shop. We got this new body style Mustang. This ain't super new, but it's pretty dang new. This is 18 plus, not 100%. This thing's getting some long tube headers, so Gio's getting rocking and rolling on that. As you can see, we got the single cab Chevy. Slapped a little tune in this one. Got some headers and an intake and a camshaft. Sounding pretty good. We've already made some rips. I think we're pretty wrapped up on this one. 338 foot-pounds, or 338 horsepower, 353 foot-pounds of torque. Clean looking graph. So I'll make another rip for you guys real quick. Be a short one because it is in second gear. You gotta watch that drive shaft speed. Moving right along with this week, we've got this Chrysler 300 in. Overheating issue. Found a customer had replaced the thermostat and water pump. Probably wasn't bled correctly, and then it was also sucking air right here. This didn't have any sealant on it, so we got that sealed up, got it back down, waiting on O'Reilly's to show up with some coolant. We'll get this thing topped back off with coolant, and that should fix it. Gio is almost got the headers wrapped up on the Mustang. I'm getting the passenger side wrapped up now, and then we'll get our mid pipes on. Show you guys what that looks like when the car goes back up in the air. Alright guys, as we are bringing this week to a close, we've got JP's hot rod back over here. We've got to lift this thing up some. It's scrubbing with the big tires on the back. Remember last time I was here, it was on the drag radials. The big wheels are back on, and it's touching a little bit. So we're going to get the car up in the air. This thing's got adjustable KW suspension, so we're going to raise it up a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/2 inch, because it'll settle back down again a little bit. We'll see how that goes. We've got our ram that we did shorty headers on the dyno. Hopefully we'll get to tune this thing soon once UPS or FedEx shows up. I can't remember which one, because we are out of stock of smart access cables. We actually sold a couple to people walking in, which oops, we needed some for vehicles that we had here. So that's the hold up on this thing. As soon as we get a smart access cable installed, I can tune it. Hopefully you guys will catch this thing get tuned on this video. Not looking for big numbers. All this thing got was a set of shorty headers, but we're gonna get the governor off. We're gonna optimize it. We're gonna definitely make more power over stock. Got the fuel leak fixed on this one. It's ready to go. This one here, the motor is out. I showed you guys it. It is no bueno. Not good. The block is scarred over. It would take over 30 thousandths to clean it up. So, no good. This one's gonna need a motor. Wayne's has dropped his back off. He's got the 300 miles on it. We're about to do an oil change on this one here today, and then get that one on back to the customer. And hopefully here in a little bit, we'll get the old, is that a Monte Carlo? Don't get me lying. What do we got? Oldsmobile. So it's Cutlass. It's got a fuel problem. I did some diag on that Cutlass yesterday, and it's got a fueling issue. So we'll see if we can't get the fueling issue fixed. Get that one on back to the customer too. So guys, as you can see, we've got our Oldsmobile up and running. Ended up being the fuel pump. Well, technically the fuel pump was working, but it was melted because it didn't have no gas in it, and he was trying to start it with no gas in it. So we took that pump out, put a new Walboro 400 liter an hour pump in the tank, boom, fired it up, back up and running. We got our smart access cable for our RAM, but it is the end of the day. So I've read the file out. I will come in this weekend and tune this RAM. JP's car, gone. Mustang, gone. Wayne's probably staying for the weekend. Sorry I didn't show you guys the final product on the Mustang, but that was because we took it to the exhaust shop to have a portion welded, and then we went and picked it up, and by the time we got it here, and then the customer came, and I forgot to film it, but the Mustang turned out great. So I'm not going to end the video here because I am going to come in this weekend and I'm going to tune this RAM, and then we'll close out the video. But for now, we'll see you tomorrow. Alright guys, so we are back at AGM Motorsports. We have the C10 on the rolls. We've already made a pull, but we're going through some growing pains with this thing. Everything's going well, but for some reason we're not making as much boost as we think we should be making. This was the last pull. 469 horsepower, 647 foot-pounds of torque. So right now it looks like it's making like 2-3 pounds and it's falling off. I did just get a new 10 rib belt. It did have a 6 rib on it when I first started, and that's because I couldn't get a hold of the 10 rib yesterday. So we started tuning this morning. I didn't bring the camera, but it's now after lunch. I brought the camera. So let's fire the truck up, get it warmed back up, and then see if the belts was slipping and that was the issue. If not, we either have a problem with the map sensor or we have a problem with the blow-off valves. So I'm gonna fire the truck back up. Let's see what happens. So guys, we're making the boost. The Holly's not seeing it because there's no way. In that last pull, this thing made 590 horsepower, 796 foot-pounds of torque. And then on the data log, I'm only seeing 3 pounds of boost. That just doesn't correlate. This is a 5.3. This isn't some big stroker motor. And it's going through an automatic transmission. So it's not easy to make that kind of power. So I'm gonna get a new sensor. We're gonna pull this thing off of Eric's dyno, stop wasting his time and our time, and yeah, change the way that this thing is, the Holly is registering boost, because there's obviously an issue. So see you guys back at the shop. We took in this car, Gio already started filming this, what you guys just witnessed. We took in this car because it was in for a tune. And doing the walkover inspection, the car was definitely not just in for a tune. So we spoke with the customer and we said, look, in order for us to move forward, we need to tear this thing entirely apart and do the job ourselves, and then we'll tune it. And so far, this is all that we've found. So we pulled the valve cover off, and look at how nasty this motor is. And here. So beyond that, it's pretty gross. Then we get the valve cover off, or the intake manifold off, and then we can see this. Okay, that's not that. It's not horrible. We can fix that. But then we see this. There's a whole ass rag in an intake port. Now I'm guessing that he stuffed rags in while he was working on the engine. I'm not really sure. Or maybe he put one in front of the intake and then forgot to take it out and then tried to start it. Not really sure, but there's a rag in there. So that's not good. We're going to try to pull that out here in a second and see how bad it is. We got the 300 over here. It's dying. Come on, die. Yeah. I just threw a base map in so I can pull it onto the dyno. But yeah, this one just keeps getting better and better as we go. Let's get the heads off and see what else we find. So guys, I've been letting the camera charge, but Gio's been rocking and rolling. And as you can see, the entire motor is apart now. Interesting is all I can say. I mean, she's gonna need some things. I don't know if y'all can see that whole rag, but yeah, it's a mess. I know, it's a mess, but we're gonna get it right. In the meantime, Gio started changing the power steering pump on the boss lady's truck because it's starting to whine. So we're gonna get that straightened out because she's not here. You guys don't get your quotes. So we've also, that 300 got dropped off this morning. This thing's got a MMX cam, long tube headers, intake, 180 thermostat, catch can. So got this thing chopping down the block, waiting on the dyno computer to get situated, get its life figured out. We'll start making pulls on this one here shortly. Alright guys, so our C10 finished out. It's 655 horsepower, 736 foot-pounds of torque. I think it is still spinning a little bit on the dyno. It's hard to get that thing to hook up, and I'm out of sticky stuff to make the shit hook up. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this content, these 2 weeks put together. See, we got some stuff done. Wayne's focused, oil changed, HVAC working. He's happy. We're gonna do a little bit more braking, then start tuning heavily. See if we can't break 500 all wheel on that one. Made some more progress on Royce's. Got the coolant system in it. I'm gonna come in this weekend and do some more wiring. We got our parts in for our Hellcat that has leaky oil cooler lines, so you guys will see that thing next week. And I think we'll start putting this Chrysler back together. So as you can see, we've got it fully tore all the way down. We still got a few things to fix. We already got our heads back, and they are cleaned up, and they look much better than they did before. Oh, and we got the rag out. And remember, you guys, I left you guys with seeing that there was a rag in the motor. So fortunately, that didn't mess up the valves. Took the head apart, got it clean, fixed that, put it all back together. No more rag. And then on Alfonso's Corvette, you see that's on the lip. Gio has been killing it. We put a Holley harness on, and now we are getting to the point of finishing up the Holley install. Still got to do the wiring and a few other things, but this thing will be running on Holley very soon. So that's going to do it for this week's episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed the content. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.